Two school-aged siblings perished when a vessel exploded near the swing bridge in downtown Belize City. The K.H.M.H describes this as a mass casualty. There was quick response from various departments, including police and fire officials. A total of 14 persons were injured and rushed to public and private hospitals in the old capital. Aside from the deaths of the siblings, there were a total of 5 critically injured persons rushed to the K.H.M.H Memorial Hospital. Just after 3 p.m., the call was made to the K.H.M.H, and nurse in charge at the Accident and Emergency Unit, Derek Bretania, says they sprung into action. 3 nurses were assigned per patient, while doctors from the wards also assisted in the emergency. An American woman was immediately taken into surgery.
3 minutes after that call, someone came here in a pickup van, and there's like 4 patients in that van. One is RIP already, a child, and then 3 of them is involved in a burn from the blast, and 2 of them have fractures. So after that, we attended to them. We prioritize first the ones that are more critical than the rest. So for the RIPs, we just separated in the next room, right? Then the mother is there. Since the mother is ambulatory and stable, we put her on the side. Okay, so after that, Bert called us as well that they will be sending 2 more ambulance from the blast. So I think that's 3 more patients came here, critical.
There are about 3 incidents annually that are classified as mass casualties at the National Referral Hospital, whether as a result of vehicular collisions or fires, and in this case, explosion of a watercraft. Protocol already established by the K.H.M.H was activated to take patients from a critical stage to a stage where they can recover.
During the mass casualty, we call in all of our management, all of our nurse. We call in an amount of nurses that would complement the nurses that are currently at the A&E. We call in the necessary specialists, and all of these people, even the ones that don't physically come into the K.H.M.H, are put on standby, that their services will be required. This incident happened at just after 3 o'clock. That was a critical time. That's when our staff is changing over. So a lot of the staff that was working at the time did not go home at 3 o'clock. They stayed until the mass casualty was over by 4 o'clock.
But the process of saving lives began at the terminal when paramedics as well as police and firefighters responded to the scene. While to the general public the scene appeared to be chaotic, in the eyes of trained emergency medical technicians, it is quite the opposite. Basic first aid assistance was administered, the goal to save as many lives as physically possible, given the situation at hand and the roles they play.
In a mass casualty, there wouldn't probably be having anybody doing CPR, because doing CPR means that person is tied up and they will not be able to help anybody else. They will just be running through and checking and doing basic life-saving skills as they see fit, and then as the other personnel come in and they take over individually, that's where that level of treatment will be going on. When you think about triage, you're doing the best for the greater number. I could go there, run to the scene, and I find the first person and stay there and start doing CPR on the whole 9 yards to that one person, when I could have leave that one person and help 15, and all 15 die trying to save one. So it's a picture, not playing God, because a lot of people like use that term, but at the end of the day, our goal is trained to do the most we can for the biggest number we can, and with that, we use the triage system. One of the problems we have is people just want to see people jump up and go to the hospital. At the end of the day, that is not necessarily the best interest of the person, because there are certain things that you need to do, life-saving measures. Taking a person to the hospital that is bleeding out is going to die before they get there. We have to take the initiative to stop that, fix it, and then do transportation.
The reality on the scene was intense. 14 persons had various degrees of injuries, including burns and fractures, and were rushed to the K.H.M.H and Belize Medical Associates for treatment. There was cooperation between BERT ambulance and security personnel to stabilize patients for transportation to the medical facilities.
The more information the dispatcher gets, the better aware the medics are going to be to reach the situation and be prepared. The more prepared they are, the quicker they can react. Upon reaching the scene, the medic is going to then do their own assessment, because unfortunately not always the information that comes in is the reality that is there. If there are going to be multiple ambulances on the scene, the first ambulance that reach is not going to leave. They're just going to be treating as they see fit and get them ready. Second ambulance come in is going to go to them. In turn, they're going to hand over, take that take those patients as prioritized to the hospital as see fit. And they would keep doing that until they get all patients to the hospital.
Duane Moody for News 5.